여러분 안녕하세요. 참석해 주셔서 대단히 감사합니다. 마르코 루지에로 박사, 제가 존경하는 분인데요. 세계적으로 저명한 과학자이자 혁신적인 연구로 많은 관심을 받고 있는 마르코 루지에로 박사님께서 생명공학과 그리고 종양학, 면역학, 신경학, 분자생물학, 생물물리학, 양자생물학의 분야를 넘나들면서 성공한 R&D의 새로운 물질, VAR, 그리고 LA203을 소개하는 자리를 마련했습니다. 이 두 물질은 면역계와 신경계, 난치, 불치, 희귀질환 치료의 획기적인 가능성을 제시하며 전 세계 여러 분야에서 주목받고 있습니다. 오늘 컨퍼런스에 모시는 분들은 국가행정기관, 해외 국제개발계획위원회, 연구자, 제약사, 투자자 및 다양한 업계의 전문가들로 모시게 되었습니다. 자, 그러면은 바로 컨퍼런스를 시작하기에 앞서서 루지에로 박사님을 간략하게 소개하도록 하겠습니다. 루지에로 박사님은 그 누구도 도전하지 못한 연구의 길을 걸어오셨습니다. 에이즈, 암, 종양, 권위자인 피터 듀스버그 박사님부터 그리고 노벨상 수상자 로저펜 로즈경, 그리고 노벨상 수상자 존 뱅경, 각 분야에서 최고의 평가를 받고 있는 세계적인 석학들이 우리 루지에로 박사님을 혁신적인 천재 중에 천재라고 그렇게 인정을 하고 있습니다. 특히 자연치유의 대처의학의 큰별 디트로이트 클링 하트 박사님, 그리고 암 종양 유전제 거장이신 미국 국립암연구소의 스튜어드 알란손 박사님, 그리고 자폐의 독보적인 존재인 제프 브래드스트레이트 박사님, 그런 분들과 공동 연구를 하였으며 세계적인 천재 동료 학자들 중에서는 그는 세계 과학계를 이끌어갈 수 있는 큰 별이라고 그렇게 평가하고 있습니다. 그가 연구한 혁신적인 R&D 물질, 지금도 전 세계 여러 분야에서 치료의 패러다임을 제시하고 있습니다. 면역계 및 신경계 질환의 새로운 가능성을 제시하고 있습니다. 오늘 과학이 도달할 수 있는 그 경계를 넘어서 함께 상상할 수 있도록 도와주시는 마르코 루지에로 박사님을 소개하도록 하겠습니다.
I anticipate this talk is very difficult, but we are talking about the most innovative concepts in medicine and science, and I want to give you the full picture. So please, I apologize if some things are difficult, but this is a real hard science. If you bear with me, then the next two presentations will be easier because I will explain the results that we have observed with both products. But here I want to give you all the details to show you that we are talking about a real scientific advancement. So let's begin. LA203 and IVAR are complex products based on the innovative concept of the OR-core theory proposed by Nobel laureate Sir Roger Penrose, quantum biology, negentropy, supramolecular self-assembly, information containing aperiodic crystals, biological entropy, tubulin and microtubule-based functions. In the following slides, I shall explain the scientific background of each product and the mechanism of action that make them so unique and formidably efficient. The science behind both products has been thoroughly described in a peer-reviewed article published in the Journal of Neurology and Stroke, as shown in the next slide. This is the article. The science behind these products was presented at the Second International Alzheimer's Disease and Dementia Conference, where it received unanimous appreciation. The Ruggiero revision of the OR-core, that stands for Orchestrated Objective Reduction Theory, postulates that all biological phenomena are controlled by quantum computations in microtubules inside cells. Microtubules are a hollow cylindrical structure constituted by tubulin proteins. They are present in all cells and play a fundamental role in a variety of processes, including cell division, cell shape, and intracellular transport. In short, they are implicated in the control of all cell functions. The OR-core theory was first proposed by Sir Roger Penrose and Professor Stu Ameroff in the early 90s in the context of consciousness and was limited to the function of the brain. In 2021, 23, and 24, I proposed a revision of the original OR-core theory in order to expand its predictive power to all biological functions in all living beings, with profound implications for all fields of medicine and biology. The 3 seminal articles describing this revision are presented in the following slides. This was in 2021, this in 2023, and this one in 2024. And again, they are available online if you are interested. The revision of the OR-core led to the development of new approaches that target the microtubules and tubulin and are at the basis of LA203 and IVAR. In LA203, this approach is based on the negentropy-driven self-assembly of 2 types of information-containing aperiodic crystals. In IVAR, this approach is based on microbiome medicine leading to self-assembly of zinc and fucose with the formation of negentropy-driven supramolecular complexes. In the next slides, I provide basic notions concerning information-containing aperiodic crystals, negentropy, and brain entropy. Aperiodic crystals are solid materials with a specific but non-periodic arrangement of atoms. The self-assembling aperiodic crystals of LA203 and IVAR are based on the prescient intuition of Erwin Schrödinger. In 1944, Schrödinger proposed the hypothesis that the genetic material containing the information for life is an aperiodic crystal. Schrödinger argued that an aperiodic crystal would be able to encode a wide variety of information in a stable and reproducible way. DNA and RNA are prime examples of aperiodic crystals. The key point here is that Schrödinger also argued that aperiodic crystals would be able to self-assemble, and this is the peculiarity of the crystals that constitute LA203 and IVAR. So what is negentropy? Negentropy, or negative entropy. It is a concept that refers to the organization and complexity of all living systems. It describes how living organisms maintain their internal order and complexity even though the universe tends toward disorder. Negentropy is the ultimate goal of biological organization, and organisms are constantly striving towards it. LA203 and IVAR function by helping this natural tendency of all living organisms. Living organisms use mechanisms like homeostasis and adaptation to maintain their internal order and complexity. LA203 and IVAR are designed to support and improve homeostasis and adaptation. Natural selection leads to the build-up of information about environmental states in cellular processes. This information helps organisms to navigate and react more efficiently in their environment. LA203 and IVAR favor the processing of evolutionary information so to favor adaptability and survival. Brain entropy is a measure of the number of neural states a brain can access and its for information capacity. It is based on Shannon entropy equation, which is a measure of a system's information capacity. Brain entropy describes how, within upper and lower cutoff points, beyond which consciousness may be significantly reduced or absent, the entropy of spontaneous cerebral activity represents a measure of the informational richness of the conscious states. Brain entropy increases during physiological development and is positively associated with intelligence, especially in the prefrontal cortex, inferior temporal lobes, and the cerebellum. Conversely, brain entropy decreases during states of reduced consciousness, such as aging, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and cognitive decline. One of the products I designed exclusively for Mr. Choi, LA203, supports and improves brain entropy, thus finding applications in all neurological and psychiatric disorders, from Alzheimer's disease to cognitive decline, autism, post-traumatic stress disorders, anxiety, depression, and dementia. Let's talk about LA203. The invention of LA203 has been filed with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. The title of the invention reported below summarizes its features. The title of the invention is Composition, Methods and Rationale for the Formula of a Compound Based on Entropy-Driven Self-Assembly of Information Containing Aperiodic Crystals capable of restoring brain entropy affected by neurological diseases, at the same time conveying information for rebalancing cerebral and systemic immune system. In the following slide, the actual document from the US Patent Office. Here you can see the title of the invention. LA203 constitutes a novel approach to restore brain entropy and rebalancing cerebral and systemic immune system. LA203 is based on the entropy-driven self-assembly of two types of information-containing aperiodic crystals. The rationale leading to the development of the information-containing crystals of LA203 lays in the known association between entropy and information. The concept of information entropy was created by the mathematician Claude Shannon, who wrote, "Information is an increase in entropy." The first type of crystals in LA203 consists of polylysin and glutamic acid. Polylysin constitutes a backbone for the establishment of electrostatic bonds between the positively charged amino groups of polylysin and the negatively charged acidic moiety of the glutamic acid, as depicted in the figure below. The second type of crystals in LA203 consists of crystals of a special sulfated polysaccharide containing fucose, galactose, xylose, arabinose, and rhamnose, and lysine, alanine, tyrosine, and cyanocobalamin or B12. The mixture of lysine, alanine, tyrosine, and cyanocobalamin is complexed through the formation of non-covalent bonds with the acidic backbone constituted by the sulfated polysaccharide, where the negatively charged sulfate ester and carboxylic groups of the polysaccharide interact with the positively charged moieties of the amino acids and cyanocobalamin. An example of these interactions is depicted in the following slide. And I know that biochemistry is a very boring topic. But if you know a little bit of chemistry and biochemistry, you can recognize all the binding. The two types of crystals in LA203 interact in a special CO2-enriched hydrophilic medium with the resulting self-assembly of complex structures composed of random-sized aperiodic crystals of polylysin glutamic acid and sulfated polysaccharides lysine, alanine, tyrosine, cyanocobalamin. The crystals, because of their random size and distribution of electrical charge on their molecular surface, contain an elevated degree of information that restores or enhances brain entropy. An additional level of information is due to the molecular structure of tyrosine, an amino acid taking part in the formation of the aperiodic crystals and also a key constituent of tubulin proteins. Tyrosine has p-resonance clouds that are essential for consciousness. P-resonance clouds in microtubules form quantum superpositions. This means that they can exist in multiple states at the same time. When the brain processes information, these quantum superpositions collapse into specific states, giving rise to the conscious experience. The patented procedure to manufacture LA203 leads to a further level of complexity of information. In our Swiss laboratories, we freeze the mixture of the special CO2-enriched hydrophilic medium and biological active molecules. Freezing leads to the formation of hexagonal ice crystals that surround the structure of the two types of crystals described above, thus constituting a further layer of structure. Then we eliminate water through a process of sublimation in high vacuum. We increase the concentration of the biologically active molecules whose conformation had been shaped by the structured water. Once formed, the crystals are assembled under the form of a capsule that can be ingested. In the next presentations, after the interval, I shall describe how we demonstrated that LA203 improves brain entropy, enhances brain activity, and restores memory and consciousness. Now let's talk about IVAR. The invention of IVAR has been filed with the US Patent and Trademark Office. Also in this case, the title of the invention reported below summarizes its features. The title of the invention is Composition, Methods and Rationale for the Formula of an Innovative Product that Goes Beyond the Concept of Pre, Pro and Postbiotics, IVAR, the one and only panbiotic. In the following slide, the actual document from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. IVAR, just like LA203, is based on the Ruggiero revision of the OR-core theory. However, IVAR also exploits the concepts of microbiome medicine to achieve, among other results, the self-assembly of zinc and fucose with the formation of negentropy-driven supramolecular complexes. Because of this, IVAR can be defined as the one and only panbiotic as described in the next slides. IVAR combines the health-supporting properties of prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. It is an entire ecosystem that reconstitutes, enhances, and optimizes the human microbiome. There is no other product that combines all the health-supporting properties of pre, pro, and postbiotics. Since IVAR combines all these properties, it can be defined as the one and only panbiotic, a new term for a new product, a term that indicates a product that encompasses all. Pan is a prefix from the Greek pan, meaning all, of everything, or involving all members of a group. In the next slides, I provide basic notions concerning the terms microbiome, prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. Microbiome indicates the community of microorganisms such as fungi, bacteria, eukaryotes, and viruses that exist in a particular environment. In humans, the term is used to describe the microorganisms that live in or on a particular part of the body, such as the skin or the gastrointestinal tract. The microbiome is a complete ecosystem where the microbes, also known as probiotics, produce molecules that are beneficial for the microbiome as well as for the human host. Prebiotics are nutrients that qualitatively change the composition of a microbiome by providing food that promotes the well-being of the probiotics. Probiotics are the microorganisms themselves. Postbiotics are the metabolites of probiotics, or the components that result from probiotic activity like fermentation. As probiotics consume prebiotic fibers, the result of that fermentation or consumption is what is known as postbiotics. In short, prebiotics are the food, probiotics are the microorganisms themselves, and postbiotics are the results of probiotics consuming that food. Negentropy-driven supramolecular complexes in IVAR. They comprise molecules produced by its microbiome, zinc, and a fucose-containing sulfated polysaccharide endowed with powerful GCMF activity. Zinc is an essential mineral that plays a role in many cellular processes, including those pertaining to the immune and central nervous systems. Zinc is an important regulator of tubulin function, and zinc deficiency plays a role in a number of diseases of the immune system and central nervous systems that are characterized by tubulin dysfunction. In IVAR, zinc is self-assembled with fucose from a sulfated polysaccharide endowed with powerful GCMF activity. In the following slide, I provide a list of the known health-supporting activities of the sulfated polysaccharide used in IVAR. Anti-cancer. It inhibits the growth and spread of cancer cells. It works by targeting multiple pathways involved in cancer development and progression. Anti-inflammatory. It reduces inflammation throughout the body. This is beneficial for a variety of conditions including arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, and asthma. Antioxidant. It is a powerful antioxidant that protects cells from damage caused by free radicals. Free radicals are unstable molecules that damage cells and contribute to a variety of diseases, including cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's disease. Immune boosting. It stimulates the immune system and fights off infection, increases the production of white blood cells and other immune cells. In addition, it has GCMF-like activity and reduces the expression of nagalase in human colon cancer cells. Antiviral. It has antiviral properties and helps to protect against a variety of viruses, including HIV, influenza, SARS-CoV-2, COVID-19, and herpes simplex virus. Because of all these activities, IVAR is indicated in a number of diseases, as shown in the next slide. Now, this is very complex. I just want to mention cancer, neurodegenerative diseases, infections, colitis, diabetes, and so on. Now, some important considerations about LA203 and IVAR. LA203 and IVAR are highly structured, complex products constituted by a number of components known for their health-supporting properties. However, LA203 and IVAR are much more than the sum of the activities of their components. They are designed in such a manner that their components self-assemble in aperiodic crystals that multiply the biological activity of each individual component. The biological activity of each component is multiplied rather than added because they can reach multiple targets at the same time, exploiting the concepts of pleiotropy and redundancy. In other words, if the biological activity of each individual component of LA203 or IVAR were 10, the overall activity of the self-assembled aperiodic crystals would be 10 by 10 by 10 by 10 equal 10,000, instead of 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 equal 40. I fully realize the description of LA203 and IVAR and their mechanism of action is complex and difficult to understand because it implies concepts of quantum biology, information theory, computational molecular biology, and advanced neurophysiology. However, the goal of this presentation is to show in unambiguous scientific terms the uniqueness of LA203 and IVAR and their unsurpassed level of innovation. Those interested in knowing more about the two products are invited to study the article mentioned earlier and shown in the next slide, where all the details are thoroughly described. And this is the article. Now, some important considerations from the business point of view. LA203 and IVAR are highly innovative and unique products as described in the previous slides. The supramolecular structures described in the previous slides are endowed with drug-like properties. However, since both products are constituted by fully natural components, they can also be classified as food, functional food, or supplement, according to each country's regulations, with obvious advantages. In their design, I took care to avoid any risk of reverse engineering. In other words, even detailed analysis of the finished product is not sufficient to copy or clone the product. The United States patent application further reinforced the protection of their intellectual property. LA203 were designed with the flexibility necessary to develop entire lines of products, such as injectables, parenteral, topical, nutraceutical, or cosmeceutical compositions. In addition, each product can be engineered toward a specific subset of diseases. For example, one formulation of IVAR can be tailored for breast cancer and another for prostate cancer. Likewise, one formulation of LA203 can be tailored for Alzheimer's disease and another one for autism. LA203 and IVAR are designed to be manufactured by Danabiologics as health foods, health supplements, and drugs for the prevention and treatment of a variety of diseases as previously indicated. The intellectual property and the exclusive manufacturing rights will give Danabiologics a formidable competitive edge and the potential to be a game changer in the field of medicine. The intellectual property of both products is thoroughly described in the US patent applications previously shown. In the next 2 slides, I give you a few examples of the claims for each product as they are written in the US patent application. For example, a formula for a compound for human consumption with the goal of preventing and treating conditions such as neurological and psychiatric disorders, Alzheimer's disease, cognitive decline, autism, post-traumatic stress disorders, anxiety, depression, and dementia. A formula for a compound for human consumption with the goal of preventing and treating all medical conditions that are currently treated by systemic corticosteroids without the known side effects of these. A formula where the amount and the ratio between the components are calculated so to achieve the entropy-driven self-assembly of information containing aperiodic crystals. And this is for IVAR, a formula for a compound for human use endowed with anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, anti-hypertensive, and antioxidant properties. A formula for a compound for human use with the goal of preventing and treating immune dysregulation and inflammation associated with viral infections, including but not limited to SARS-CoV-2 and HIV infections. A formula for a compound for human use endowed with GCMF activity. In the next presentations after the interval, I shall describe the efficacy of LA203 and IVAR in conditions ranging from cancer to neurological and infectious diseases. I shall also present innovative theories for these conditions that explain the formidable efficacy of both products. In the meantime, I thank you so much for your attention.